Hey gang, Yappy Beeman here. About a year ago I had one of my videos that for some reason it just went crazy viral. And ever since 14 months ago when that happened, this video has hit one other time through the algorithm at YouTube. It's great, I love it. And it has opened up so many doors. It's opened up a door for me to work with companies like Premier. And well, it just so happened that Matt, the guy who's behind the camera right now, he and I have been talking. He wanted to come in and kind of shoot some video of me doing a bee removal. I was so happy to have him come down. I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Is this the Yappy Beeman?
Is it the Matt from Premier Bee Company?
I think so.
Dude, you are not gonna wear that shirt with me today. There is nothing
What's wrong with this shirt?
No, seriously, I'm taking you to Walmart. You're going Yappy Orange if you're hanging with me today.
Yappy Orange?
Yes.
I'm in. Let's
Okay.
go.
Let's go get some t-shirts.
Okay.
Now, we've been out for all of a total of like 2 minutes from over there to over here. What do you think about the temperature so far?
It's getting there. It's still early morning, but
Yeah.
I can see how it gets a little hot. Okay, here's the first question. Where did the orange come from?
Where did the orange come from?
Yeah, it's trademark, it's a signature.
Exactly. The reason I ended up going with the orange is because my buddy, the 628 Dirt Rooster,
Yep.
got the hat on, see?
Oh yeah.
All right. Dirt Rooster has got the coolest line of merchandise, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm thinking I gotta have some kind of like something. I gotta have my trademark thing. And this went back years ago. One of the first removals I did, I started out wearing an orange t-shirt and it just kind of stuck. But I guess if you see the guy in the orange t-shirt running, better catch up. All right, we gotta find you a t-shirt. Here we go. What size shirt you wear?
Yeah, large.
Large? All right. You're gonna need this.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Yappy. Alabama or Auburn?
Are you really asking me that question? Roll Tide all the way, baby.
Ooh, what's that orange? That's Auburn orange.
No, it ain't. Their shade of orange is completely different. I have actually gone through and had that tested to make sure that this is not Auburn orange. Okay? I keep one bucket.
What are the buckets for?
You always keep one that's half full of water so you can always wash your hands. But we're at a point in our season where we're past the main flow. I like to keep anything that's capped off, that's cleaner comb, because I'll end up feeding it back to the bees midsummer when we're kind of going through we go through a strong dearth here. So,
What season is the dearth usually?
if you think about it from this standpoint, in this early spring, everything starts to bloom. Okay, so the blooms create the pollens, create the nectars for the bees to actually go and forage and gather their food. Once we get to a certain point, everything's bloomed. There's going to be still some, weeds and different things that are going, grasses. There's a lot of different things that'll still continue to bloom all through summer, but not to a degree to where they can actually continue to put food, nectar and honey up. They can get daily rations per se, but they're not going to really get a lot that they can store as excess. So when we go through that season, I like to make sure that I like to have honey on hand. A lot of beekeepers will feed back sugar water. No problem with that. I just like to be able to have resources on hand that are, more natural.
Where'd you get the name Yappy Beeman?
The name Yappy Beeman came from Big Bud. He hosted a get-together in Mississippi for a bunch of beekeepers, and I was invited by JP the Beeman. When I get there, you kind of, everybody's family, you fall right into it. And after about 2 or 3 hours of being there, and I'm just so excited. I mean, I'm seeing people that in my world were famous at that time. And, I couldn't contain it. Well, Bud, if he liked you, he would name you, give you a nickname. And Bud named me Yap Yap. I have no idea why. But I got the nickname Yap Yap. And I said, throughout the course of times, I'm like, Yap Yap. And that's what. So I begged him to give me just a little twist off of it. And I said, can we call me Yappy? He said, nope. He said, I named you Yap Yap. I said, okay, fine. Well, when I started my YouTube channel, that's where I had the control of that part. So I twisted it to Yappy Beeman, and it just stuck from there. I have I don't know why.
What caused you to start filming your first YouTube video?
The reason I got into making the YouTube videos was that I just loved watching some of the other creators out there back in their day. There's a few of them that are really still going. You know, the 628 Dirt Rooster, JP the Beeman. I mean, I think the Fat Beeman, you know, Don is still putting out some videos. But with JP's background in producing those videos, he kind of nudged me, you know, into making some of my own. And you know, I went out and bought a little old cheap 720p camera, and I started making my own videos, and he helped guide me on some things on getting it going and how to edit and different things, and we just kind of grew from there. It's almost embarrassing to go back and look at some of my videos from 6 years ago and then look at some of the quality of the cameras, the content, what I do now. I almost want to go back and delete a bunch of those videos, but you always got to remember where you came from. Where we're going today, I've already been out here one time to take a look at this job, and my purpose as a bee remover is to remove a problem for the customer. So, you know, taking that out, rehoming the bees, but you don't want to create more of a problem in the repairs for that customer. So I drove all the way out here, and we take a look. The best action, the best direction to go in to get these bees out of this man's house is going to be going through the outside. Had we went through the inside, there would be a lot of drywall ceiling refinishing, and it's not just a plain flat drywall. It's got the little sandy special finish on it, and it creates a much more of a cost for the homeowner. The day that we came out and the whole process of, I went ahead and we rescheduled to come back at a later time because he has 2 colonies in this house, and we were hoping that we could hit both of them in the same day, get here real early, get the first one out, take a lunch break, go bust the second one out. It's going to be more extensive because I'll have to go through a floor on it, and then weather hit, and then they got COVID. Him and his wife both got COVID, so that put us off. And I thought, well, if we could at least bust one of these out today, that would be great for my friends at Premier Bee Company to actually experience what it's like to see a real, natural, untouched beehive in a state where you know, we can compare things to what we would find in the beekeeping aspect of it.
How long does your typical removal take?
Oh wow, you know, a typical bee removal for me can last anywhere from 2 hours. It can last 7 or 8 hours. A lot of it depends on the size of the colony, and it's going to depend on how much food stores they have put up. A colony that's only been there just for a week or 2 weeks, they're going to have some comb. They will have some stores put up, but obviously there's not going to be as much because the time frame's been less. But a colony that's been there for over a year, some or more, I've removed colonies that have been in a void space and known they were there for over 75 years. That the size will vary depending on the colony and everything around it. This colony has been here for a little over 4, pushing 5 weeks about. Go on, girls. Bees are so good about orientating to the front door of their house to the customer's house that if I stand right here, it will screw them up so bad with their visual of what they know is their entrance that they'll stop here. I'm like this blocker of them, and they just stop here because they can't figure out how to get around me. But as soon as I move, they all just go right in. It's cool. Absolutely cool. But they're on something. They're on a nectar source right now, and they're on it hard to have that many coming and going. They are on a serious nectar source right now. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break this seal of the caulking they've got up on here. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to find where I've got a board I can cut, and we're basically just going to open up a section right here, pull this down. This piece of trim will be in the way from getting it all down, but we're going to try it anyway, and try to expose the colony from right here. This would be a great candidate to actually go through the floor on the inside. The reason I can't go through from right here is because there will be basically an end board or a band board right here, and this is hard to replace. So we'll go from underneath and try to kind of go into it like that, hopefully. The upside to this, it's cooling off nicely.
What's your go-to equipment? What all do you need?
Benadryl.
Here's some thunder. How do the bees react to storms?
When the pressure's dropping, pressure changes in the atmosphere can set them off, be a little bit more defensive. That's actually just an entire nature thing. What I'm hoping to find is, where there's a stud or something that I can, where I can cut this board. There's our bees, right there. Hello, girls. That's a very nice colony. Very nice colony. There they are. Hello, girls.
What's the most times you've ever been stung when removing a hive?
I can tell you, and I'm not proud of this, because it was by no fault of my own, in my opinion, that it happened. But the goal is to not get stung, obviously. But I can tell you, I had one that I had been stung so many times I quit counting at 50. They were pretty rough to deal with. It didn't matter. It didn't matter what I did, no matter how much smoke I used, anything. They were just relentless, and that made me pay attention to the things like I'm talking about with the weather, with everything overall, to understand the temperament of the bees, what changed it, what didn't. These are the things that I look at when I am actually removing bees. I really honestly, I believe that if we pay attention to nature, nature will school us. It will teach us, and it's just a matter of how much it hurts on whether you pay attention or not. Good deal. All right, we need some juice. There you go, boys and girls. There's your bees.
Is that it? Just that one right there?
One what?
That right there. I mean,
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
oh my gosh.
There's 10 combs up there. So from here, what we're going to attempt to do is, I'm going to go ahead. We'll have the back system. It collects them up, doesn't kill them, and I will. I'll take out a piece of comb one at a time, and we'll collect the bees off of that the entire time I'm watching for the queen. It's the greatest outcome for me is to be able to catch that queen on a piece of comb, catch her by hand.
Yeah.
But the bees always make it hard on me because as I'm working coming into this, they just want to keep going to the back corner, and depending on the insulation and where it stops, I'm going to try to push some of the insulation kind of as a blocker to give them a spot to go to and not get past, but everything is directed towards this back left corner, and if she gets off that comb and goes back there in that corner and figures out how to run into that insulation, then we have to play a waiting game. Oh, crap. So the Colorado Bee Vac is an excellent tool. Invented by Guy Shingleton out of Colorado a few years back with the help of JP the Beeman doing field studies and tests on it. They had a few different directions they were going to go in, and they finally perfected the design, and I got one 6-7 years ago, and I fell in love with it. Great little tool that I can collect up the bees, and it doesn't kill them, so that they can be rehomed. Nice. Nice little brood pattern. Not sure why she hadn't, this might have been pollen in those cells at one time and I didn't get them cleaned out. But we got a little bit of uncapped going over here, a little bit of pollen over in there. So
you said this is about 3 to 4 weeks old in your estimation? It was 3 weeks when you called me. It's been 2 weeks we'll call it 2 weeks since I have been here to evaluate and us be able to get out here to do this. So end of April, mid-April was when this one showed up. So they've had every bit of a chance to actually have one full cycle of brood come through. And, well, there went a piece of comb. You don't have that. They've had every bit of where they could have had one cycle of brood come through. And they're working on their second. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing I'm noticing what's interesting about these. I'd like for you guys to take a section of this comb back and measure it. But this is a smaller bodied bee than what we normally would see in our Italians in this area, which makes me wonder if this is a wild strain that is like somewhere out around here, maybe in a tree that's
been in a colony for a while, but the cells appear, and you can't tell without measuring, but they appear to actually be smaller, and the body of the bees are smaller. It's beautiful. We'll set this off. If they're gonna make it easy on me to collect them, I might as well do it.
How does the size of this colony compare to most of your removals?
For its age, it's in the time frame of the year, it's right on point, in my opinion. This is definitely not one of the bigger ones that I've removed, but all right, girls, you got me? You got me? Now I'm gonna look up here real quick, just to make sure I don't have a queen walking around in front of me, because the ones in my hand really aren't going anywhere. All right, now we're gonna look at this. Let's see, do we have a queen right around? Now I'm gonna tell you, she's gonna be a long, skinny queen. She'll have a longer booty on her, but she's gonna be, in comparison to these girls right here, I expect her to be a skinnier, but a longer body queen. My gold. Come on, get in there. Come on, do you see her? I do not yet at least. That's a beautiful frame of comb. Pretty chilled. Very good queen, not a single drone out here. Nice.
Beautiful.
So, a beehive, essentially, if you understand, is nothing but an incubator, okay? In its bigger picture, it is meant to make more bees to do a job. So, bees, in their DNA, have certain measurements for everything they do. As far as the space between frames to control airflow, the size of the cells to do things, it's an absolutely beautiful thing that bees create when they make a beehive. But at the end of the day, it's primarily an incubation space for them to make more bees and food storage to take care of that process. And I absolutely love them.
Yappy, what's the most memorable bee removal you've done?
Oh, wow. The most memorable, I would probably have to say, is that first event that I went down to the bud gathering with the Bee Master group. That was, I told you I'd done one that was over 75 years old. It was at that gathering that we had a removal in a farmhouse. The farmhouse was said to be over 150 years old and had 12-foot ceilings throughout the house on the first floor. The same family had owned that house for the entire time since it was built, and the current resident and owner of it had known about the bees being in the exterior wall of that house for over 75 years. What was amazing was there was another one that was in the wall on the upstairs, and that one was over 40 years old. They called it the bee room. It was a bedroom and at night they could hear the bees in the wall humming. But it took 2 days to do the job, and just the sheer massive size
made that to be one that was absolutely incredible to do. It was the first removal that I had ever had the opportunity to work with JP the Beeman on. And we filled, there was so many bees in it that we filled 4 10-frame deep boxes. I bet you Premier would have loved to have had sold those frames. That was a lot of box.
If you could only follow one bee channel on YouTube, who would it be?
Wow. You know, now I'm going to tell you, he's a friend, all right? But the one person that I have, and a lot of people that know my name in the YouTube world know that I'm friends with a couple of really very well-known bee removers. JP, I've mentioned a few times. 628 Dirt Rooster, wonderful friend. Okay, now look at here. You see how those bees are starting to run back there? Back over here in this corner. You see them running? Mm-hmm. All right, they know that queen's back in that corner. All right, they're running to her. So she may have been up here in the top of this comb, but they're running to her. And you see them fanning? All right, they're spreading the word to the rest of them that they know where that queen's at. They're spreading her pheromone around. But she's off to that back left corner. I can tell you that right now. Now, whether she chills out and comes back on the comb, debatable, but I'm expecting that we're going to find her in the back corner by the insulation and then this joist, kind of in a cluster of bees. But that's what I think. All right, so my most, if I had to follow one bee channel, who would I follow? I'm very, very great friends with JP the Beeman, Shawi, Beekeeper of the Swamp, 628 Dirt Rooster is, he's family. We've been through a couple bee removals together. We talk every day, and we have so much in common as far as our thoughts and beliefs on a lot of things. But I'll tell you, if I could only watch one person, I'm telling you, it probably would end up being Jeff Horchoff. No offense to my buddies. Wait, look at me. No offense to the other guys, though. Sorry. But Jeff Horchoff is just some very wholesome content. He has some very firm beliefs in his life that I respect, and and he's not afraid to share them with anybody, and you know, he never tries to offend anybody, but he has his belief, and he stands on it. I respect that, but he's just a good, wholesome channel. But I will tell you this, if there was a number 2 channel, and I emphasize number 2, it would definitely have to be Nature's Image Farms. I would definitely have to go probably with a little bit of Greg Burns.
What's one thing you wish you knew before getting started in bees?
How much of a pain in the butt beekeeping is? What's the one thing that I wish that I knew before getting into beekeeping? There's a lot of different things that I wished I'd have known. I definitely wish that I would have learned through somebody on how to be patient. There's something about bees that becomes addictive as soon as we get into it. It's mesmerizing, it's hypnotizing to sit and watch bees come from the entrance of a box and go out and forage and then come back, and to interact with them and not die is such a wonderful experience. And we never can have enough. As beekeepers, we just never, one is never enough. 2 should be, but it never is. And we get obsessed with it, where we should have sat back and just literally learned how to listen to the bees and let them explain what they want, what they don't want, how they want it, when they want it. I really believe that if we'd listen to the bees a little bit more, we would be more successful with them. So, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Well,
All right, girls. Let's get some of this mess cleaned up. The spoils of the job. Let's get past all the bees. Although it's not capped, it's pretty much just about ready to be capped right there. Is she right here? Nope, I don't see her yet. I don't see her yet. She ain't rolling on us, is she? No, she is still hiding back there in that corner.
wow.
I knew where she's at. I was just hoping that she was gonna give us a break and just come out and say hello. I have them do that. I literally will have a queen just hang out on a frame and wait for me to come by, and then she go, "Hey, Yap." But this one's playing hard to get. Typical. But I'm having a great time so far with you guys. The bees are awesome. I mean, they're being just as chill as you could hope. The darker comb in here, there's probably a lot of pollen. This was some of the first comb that they built. They're starting to now put on some drone brood. We got one that's hatching out about right there. So that's pretty cool. They're just now bringing on some drones. So 5 weeks about for how long they've been there. And they're starting to do their little part with replenishing the drones in the area. Yep, see that back corner right there? All those bees back there in that corner? That queen's over there. Real good chance she's over there. I'm more comfortable, and we haven't looked on this frame that I just pulled out yet, but I'm more comfortable to say that queen is over there than she's on the frame that's in my hand right now. So, let's look. We find a queen? Negative. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, I got your mama. I got your mama. Look at that. Can you believe that? They're telling me up there that she was probably in that corner, and there she is right there. Come here, girl. Come on, girl. There we go. See that long tail? All right, put her back right here for just a second. There we go. Now hold her so she can't go anywhere. And there's our queen. Wow. I did not expect her to be on this frame. But now I'm in a conundrum. I got a queen in one hand, a frame of bees in the other, and I got to put the queen in this cage. Ha! Oops, sorry. Cool beans. Oh, you guys are gonna love your Premier Bee frames. Yes, you are. She's got a longer body. That's the abdomen where she holds all her eggs and everything to keep creating more babies coming along and going. But she's obviously longer in body and easier to spot.
Yep.
But there she is, man.
Good job.
Well, I appreciate that. So what we're going to do now is we'll take her and all her daughters, and we're going to get back to the bee farm, and we'll set them up in a box and let them start rebuilding. And after a day or two, they'll be right back to it. They'll never even know. They'll never even know where they came from or where they were going. But it's a good batch of bees. Very good temperament.